Relationships can often feel like invaluable treasures, enriching our lives with happiness, love, and deep connections. Yet, it's essential to recognize that God's wisdom surpasses our understanding, and sometimes He has a different plan for us, one that we must not ignore. You might find yourself wholeheartedly invested in a relationship, pouring every ounce of your heart and soul into it. However, if this bond doesn't align with God's greater purpose, He will undoubtedly make you aware of that reality. The esteemed author C.S. Lewis wisely observed that when we experience a loss of something we cherish, it often paves the way for an unexpected blessing to emerge. It is crucial to trust in God's plan, even when the path ahead seems hard to grasp. You might receive unmistakable signs that are so clear, denial would be futile. Still, some people may stubbornly choose to disregard these divine messages. It's vital to keep this important point in mind. When God indicates that it's time to let go of a relationship, you must act promptly and heed His call without hesitation. This journey is not solely focused on your comfort, feelings, or the emotional investments you've made. Rather, it centers on surrendering to God's will and embracing the belief that He is genuinely invested in your spiritual well-being. Today, I am eager to discuss 7 distinct signs that suggest God may be prompting you to reassess a particular relationship. Before we delve into these informative truths, I kindly request that you take a brief moment to lend your support to this message. Click the like button, subscribe, and drop an amen in the comments. This is about more than just sharing God's teachings. It's about spreading His power, judgment, and illuminating presence throughout every corner of our world. Now, let's explore the first sign. It's time to awaken to the reality of your situation. You might find that God allows certain individuals to inflict pain upon you. Understand that there is a purpose in this. Life is not solely a string of joyful experiences. It also serves up its share of trials and tribulations. Sometimes, those whom we trust implicitly, the ones with whom we've shared our deepest secrets and feelings, can inadvertently cause us significant hurt. You've shown them affection and loyalty, yet you may receive only bitterness, disrespect, and unkindness in return. However, bear in mind that nothing happens by accident when you are living under God's protective watch. He allows us to face the darker chapters of life to teach us lessons that are essential for our growth and development, lessons we may not fully grasp unless we experience these hardships firsthand. As C.S. Lewis suggested, these experiences can ultimately lead to greater understanding and appreciation for the blessings that follow, guiding us on our spiritual journey. Ultimately, acknowledging these signs and moments of pain can lead to profound insights. It's a crucial step on the path to greater enlightenment and a healthier relationship with ourselves and others. Perhaps the lesson lies in learning to set healthy boundaries, or maybe it's about realizing that true love does not involve sacrificing your well-being. Whatever the case may be, the journey is about recognizing your worth and God's purpose for your life. Lewis pointed out that every act of betrayal, every painful situation, and every heartbreak we experience serves a purpose. Sometimes God permits challenges to come our way to wake us up, to make us aware of the dangerous paths we might be walking, and to highlight the toxic relationships we may be involved in. Now let's picture this scenario. Envision yourself as a talented potter, meticulously crafting a stunning vase with great care. Suddenly, as you shape your masterpiece, you notice hidden cracks that threaten its overall stability. This is akin to the way God exposes problematic elements in our relationships. It's crucial to recognize these fissures. Acknowledging these revelations can lead to a deeper understanding of the necessity of letting go, allowing for new opportunities that resonate more profoundly with your genuine life path. Each sign we encounter is like a divine nudge, guiding us toward healing and growth. Much like the clay showing weaknesses that might lead to a breakdown if we choose to ignore them, this reflects how God operates in our lives. He permits people to inflict pain on us to bring to light the flaws in our relationships. These undiscovered weaknesses can significantly jeopardize the stability and happiness of our lives. It might seem harsh at times, but God's intentions are not cruel. Rather, He is helping us to discern that not everyone in our lives is worthy of our trust, love, or energy. As the insightful writer C.S. Lewis once observed, Experience can be the most difficult teacher, yet the lessons learned are invaluable. You might find yourself questioning, why God? Why do I have to go through this suffering? Let me reassure you, the answer is that He is in the process of preparing you. He is removing the insignificant, the fragile, and the unworthy elements from your life to ready you for something far more meaningful. This preparation is for a love based on genuine truth, robust strength, and steadfast loyalty. Consider this: those who genuinely love you will not intentionally inflict harm upon you. They will be the ones who stand by you, unwavering, through every tumult that life may present. Reflect for a moment on the biblical account of Joseph. He was a man favored by God, blessed with remarkable dreams, and beloved by his father as the cherished son. However, despite these blessings, Joseph encountered profound betrayal from his own brothers. Driven by jealousy and resentment, they sold him into slavery, thrusting him into a life filled with darkness and despair. Did God step in to shield Joseph from this hardship? No, He did not. Instead, Joseph's struggles ultimately became a pathway to his destiny, allowing him to rise to a position of power in Egypt. He learned resilience, faith, and the ability to forgive, which became the foundation of his strength. Through such experiences, we can come to understand that the difficulties we face are crucial for shaping our character and preparing us for the future. These moments of hardship may be painful, but they also serve as necessary stepping stones toward our personal growth and fulfillment. God allowed Joseph to face these hardships, not as a form of punishment, but as a crucial aspect of a larger divine plan. These difficult experiences were essential to mold him for a significant purpose. The chains he wore, the false accusations he endured, and the confinement of prison were all factors that contributed to shaping Joseph into the leader he was destined to become. Had he not faced these daunting challenges, he might never have had the chance to rescue his family and even an entire nation from the grip of famine. In the midst of betrayal, Joseph discovered which relationships truly mattered and which ones were detrimental to his journey. This reflects the wisdom of C.S. Lewis, who poignantly pointed out that the pain we experience now often stems from moments of joy we previously enjoyed. Such is the essence of life. It is inherently intertwined with hardships and valuable lessons. Therefore, to anyone who finds themselves surrounded by pain, who feels that betrayal is unbearable and emotional wounds are deeply etched, try not to linger in despair. Instead, seek to grasp the bigger picture. Those who inflict pain might actually be serving as instruments that God uses to refine your character, sharpen your determination, and fortify your spirit. These emotional scars can have a purpose. They may act as tools in God's plan to help you discern what genuinely matters and to highlight the core values you cherish. Keep this important truth in mind. God never allows suffering without a purpose. Each tear shed, every challenge faced, and all heartbreak experienced are often integrated into His grand design for your benefit. God engages with us in moments of joy, speaks gently through our conscience, yet frequently utilizes our pain as a powerful message. It's almost as if our struggles serve as a loudspeaker, awakening a world that may otherwise remain indifferent. Lewis encourages us to understand that God is actively clearing your path, shedding light on what is broken, so that you can move towards a brighter and more fulfilling future. Life is intended to be constructed upon foundations of strength, truth, and steadfast faith. Trust that God has a plan for you. It is a good and hopeful plan filled with purpose. However, there are times when it becomes necessary for Him to dismantle the illusions we have created around ourselves and to remove toxic influences from our lives. This process is vital as it helps to unveil the solid ground on which you can build a brighter future. This leads us to an important insight. When your life seems to be falling apart, take heed. If everything around you feels like it's unraveling, your emotions are chaotic, your finances are overwhelming, and your mental health is in decline, don't simply dismiss it as a streak of bad luck. Instead, view it as a crucial moment of transformation, one that requires you to pause, reflect, and potentially redirect your life towards a better path. In embracing the struggle, you may find the strength to rise even higher. Embrace this journey and allow it to lead you to greater understanding, resilience, and ultimately, fulfillment. It's important to view this situation as a call from the divine, akin to a bright red warning light blinking insistently in front of you. God is trying to awaken your senses, urging you to acknowledge that your present circumstances are deteriorating due to a shaky foundation. Reflect on the relationships you might be clinging to. What you perceive as safety could actually be leading you toward destruction. In His profound mercy, God might permit certain elements of your life to fall apart so that you can break free before they completely engulf you. Renowned author C.S. Lewis eloquently noted that we are not just figurative works of art, but genuinely crafted masterpieces by God. Occasionally, this creative process demands dismantling everything unworthy from our lives, including toxic relationships. Envision a house precariously built on shifting sands. Gradually, cracks start to appear. You might sense a growing disquiet in your heart, your spirit may feel exhausted, and financial issues might begin to surface, all while your hope seems to wane. These feelings are indications that God is trying to communicate with you, signaling that the foundations of a relationship are unsound and cannot endure life's tempests. This isn't retribution, it's a means of deliverance. He allows the walls to fall apart, thus offering you a chance to escape the turmoil before it spirals out of control. It's imperative to remain vigilant because this is a reality that many individuals hesitate to face. God genuinely desires the best for us. He doesn't want you to be ensnared in connections that sap your strength, weigh you down, or keep you mired in chaos. Instead, He wishes to elevate you, providing a life filled with blessings. At times, this path may lead you through hardships, obstacles, and pain, not to crush you, but to open your eyes. These challenges can serve as wake-up calls, making you aware of the toxic trajectory you're on. It's crucial to redirect your life before it's too late. When you feel that everything around you is spiraling into disarray, it's essential to pause and reflect. Take a moment to pray and sincerely ask yourself, is this relationship at the root of my suffering? Could it be the reason my life feels like it's unraveling? Be ready to face the hard truths, even when they sting. God, in His infinite wisdom and love, has a greater plan waiting for you. Yet, you won't uncover this beautiful plan if you stay entangled in something that's dragging you down. Recognizing these truths will not only empower you, but also help you to reclaim your life. You might find inspiration in stories of others who have faced similar struggles and emerged stronger on the other side. Many have discovered that letting go of a burdensome relationship often leads to personal growth, newfound clarity, and unexpected joy. Learning to listen to these gentle nudges from God can guide you toward a brighter, more fulfilling path. Embrace the opportunity to strengthen your foundation, paving the way for a life that reflects God's true intentions for your happiness and peace. Stepping away from a relationship that feels like it is tearing you apart can actually lead you to a life rich with blessings. Keep in mind the wisdom of C.S. Lewis. While you may not have the ability to rewrite your story's beginning, you absolutely possess the power to reinvent your future from your current position. Seize this chance for transformation and have faith that God has something far more magnificent waiting for you. Your current situation is significant, and now is the time to shift the narrative. Many of you might find yourselves feeling overwhelmed, engulfed in a whirlwind of emotions, while putting forth relentless effort in trying to salvage a difficult relationship. You could be bending over backward to maintain peace, pouring everything you have into keeping the connection alive. However, it's essential to recognize the truth. When difficulties persist and your circumstances seem to worsen with each passing moment, it's time for a moment of reflection. Stop pretending that everything is okay. Cease fighting a battle that feels impossible to win, and take a step back to evaluate where you truly stand. It's important to acknowledge that some issues cannot be resolved. Certain relationships might be irreparably broken. Never allow yourself to be paralyzed by fear. Do not let it hold you back from freeing yourself from a toxic relationship. Open your heart and your mind. Tune into the guidance that God offers and trust in His wisdom. When you learn to lean into that trust, you'll find that beyond the turmoil of your current challenges lies a life overflowing with blessings, tranquility, and joy just waiting to unfold for you. However, to arrive at that brighter future, you first have to learn the art of letting go. Now let's take a closer look at the third sign, which is incredibly important: a lack of reverence for God. This point is vital to consider. One of the glaring signs that a relationship may not align with God's will is when your partner exhibits a blatant disregard for the fear of God. This concept transcends simple faith. It includes respect, self-control, and moral integrity. In a relationship where there is an absence of that reverence, the groundwork for a meaningful connection can be severely compromised. Picture this scenario. Imagine a car racing down a steep hill without any brakes, totally out of control and on a collision course with disaster. This analogy perfectly captures a relationship where one or both partners lack genuine fear of God. It becomes a perilous and unpredictable situation, likely heading for a disastrous end. Without that essential reverence, there is a void of self-discipline, no boundaries are established, and respect for one another is diminished. It's crucial to reflect on what kind of foundation your relationship is built on. A relationship should nurture faith, promote honesty, and encourage spiritual growth. If you find yourself constantly questioning your partner's morals, values, or respect for spiritual matters, consider this a serious warning sign. Moments of doubt should lead to deeper introspection rather than blind pursuit. In choosing relationships, remember that they should uplift and strengthen your moral compass, guiding you towards a closer relationship with God instead of pulling you away from it. Let's be clear, without key foundational elements, a relationship is teetering on the edge of failure. Divine messages are being communicated to you. They indicate that a relationship devoid of reverence for God is fraught with instability. This fear of God is essential. It provides the necessary foundation for genuine love and reciprocal respect. This respect weaves relationships together, especially when the going gets tough. If someone is indifferent to the repercussions of straying away from God, how can they truly love and honor you as they ought to? Without that framework, concepts like responsibility, commitment, and integrity are lost. Unfortunately, they simply cannot uphold these values. As you persist along this path, you're risking not just the health of your relationship, but also compromising your peace, happiness, and overall sense of well-being. When someone openly expresses their lack of fear towards God, don't overlook this as a trivial detail. This should serve as a stark warning, an undeniable signal that the relationship is heading toward turmoil. Lacking a reverence for God creates a vacuum in respecting personal boundaries, leads to a deficiency in self-discipline, and eliminates a moral compass. In such situations, it becomes crucial to turn to prayer, seeking wisdom. Take the time to ask God to shed light on which relationships deserve your effort and which ones might be steering you toward ruin. Now, let's delve into the fourth sign: continuous struggles and conflicts. This is an exceptionally crucial indicator. Relationships that seem like a relentless fight can deplete your spirit and wear you down over time. It's imperative to recognize when disagreements have shifted from rare occurrences to the standard expectation. Many of you might be missing glaring signs when your relationship feels inundated with ongoing disputes, persistent arguments over insignificant details, and misunderstandings that pile up like insurmountable obstacles. There exists a constant undercurrent of tension, and it's important to understand that this isn't merely a passing phase. Instead, it's akin to a higher power urgently conveying that this relationship is out of alignment with a greater purpose. You may think that more effort, enduring through greater challenges, or pushing through these issues will lead to resolution. However, let me set the record straight. When conflicts become relentless and difficulties appear unending, it's critical to take a step back and reassess the situation. Imagine a vessel striving to navigate forward, yet every attempted advance is met with relentless waves and fierce gales. Despite its efforts to progress, it finds itself stalled, battered by forces beyond its control. The persistent struggle may not be a sign of love. It may be an indication of fundamental incompatibilities that need to be addressed. Reflect on this scenario. A healthy relationship should foster growth, joy, and a sense of partnership, not constant turmoil. When you find yourself in such a situation, it's essential to pause, evaluate your priorities, and seek clarity on the future of your relationship. This imagery strikingly illustrates the state of your relationship when it's caught in constant conflict. stuck and unable to move forward. It's important to grasp the reality that God did not intend for it to thrive under these circumstances. He is not a God of disorder, but one who embodies peace, harmony, and meaningful intentions. At times, he may permit these ongoing struggles not as a form of punishment, but rather to unveil deeper insights, steering you away from a direction he knows isn't right for your life. When a relationship is continually fraught with turmoil, it cannot develop, cannot flourish, and will not lead you to the happiness and tranquility that God desires for you. It's crucial now to stop fighting against the chaos. Instead, take a moment to step back, let go of your burdens, and have faith that God will guide you toward a state of calm and equilibrium to the abundant life He has envisioned for you. When you are enveloped in ongoing strife, avoid remaining in a state of confusion or passivity. Take proactive measures, seek divine guidance, and keep searching until you hear the clear resonance of His voice. Remember, God is always present. He will illuminate your path if you possess the courage to seek Him out and the faith to embrace the lessons He shares. Have trust in His design for your life, even when it may seem too distant or challenging to grasp. His wisdom is far greater than our own understanding. You may feel as though you are in the midst of a turbulent storm, but He knows the way to safety and peace. Stay still, open your heart, and tune in. In those moments of silence, God will reveal truths to you, even if those revelations might sting a little. Embrace the idea of letting go of a relationship that has become a burden. You may hold the belief that life would feel empty without it, but that perception is misleading. Trust that God won't lead you astray if you put your faith in Him. His plan is perfect, and if you choose to follow in His footsteps, He will guide you toward something far more beautiful than you can currently envision. Now, let's turn our attention to an important warning sign that shouldn't be overlooked. If you find yourself continuously giving while receiving nothing in return, it's time to pay attention. Some individuals resemble leeches, persistently taking from you without ever offering the support or kindness you deserve. This unequal dynamic is a clear indication from God, signifying that this relationship may not be in your best interest. Picture yourself as a bright, shining candle, radiating warmth and light. If someone only comes around during your prosperous times, but vanishes when you're in need, therefore their motivations might not be sincere. It's essential to surround yourself with those who elevate and support you, rather than drain your spirit. By fostering relationships that are reciprocal, you nurture your own well-being and create a healthier environment for growth and love. Surround yourself with people who are eager to share both their joys and challenges, creating a mutual exchange that enriches all involved. In doing so, you strengthen your own light and enhance not just your life, but the lives of those around you. Life is far too valuable to spend on connections that are unbalanced and unsatisfying. As you take time to think about the relationships in your life, focus on those that add richness to your experience rather than deplete your energy. Have faith that God will steer you toward the people and experiences that are truly meant for you. At times, we might find ourselves in the company of individuals who sap our energy and leave us feeling lonely, alienated, and confused. These people might be little more than users, and recognizing this dynamic is crucial because it is not what God has in store for your life. God, in His boundless wisdom, may permit you to go through experiences of rejection. While it's true that such moments can feel like a burning pain inside, remember that this is not a form of punishment. Rather, it is a measure of protection. That heartache you feel is really God's way of guiding you away from damaging relationships that could lead to your downfall. He is signaling to you that you are worthy of so much more. Take, for example, the biblical account of David and Saul. Saul, driven by jealousy, used David for his own gain before ultimately casting him aside. However, this rejection didn't mark the end of David's journey. In fact, it was an essential step in God's larger plan for his life. Even though he faced hardship and trials, David eventually ascended to greatness as a leader. Similarly, God will guide you away from toxic, one-sided relationships and toward connections filled with genuine love and mutual respect. C.S. Lewis famously remarked that we are like mirrors reflecting the sunlight. Our own brilliance comes solely from that divine light. If you find yourself in situations where you feel used, where your affection goes unreturned, or where you are continuously giving without receiving, don't just accept it passively. It is important to take action and trust God to lead you back to a place of tranquility. Remember that God does not create confusion. Instead, He is the ultimate source of clarity. By seeking Him earnestly, He will assist you in understanding which relationships are truly valuable and which ones might ensnare you in sadness. Although rejection can be painful, it serves as part of God's master plan to guide you toward the fulfilling life He has laid out for you. Release any toxic relationships that drain your spirit and open your heart to the blessings that God has lovingly prepared for you. Furthermore, it is essential to be aware when some relationships begin to lead you away from your faith and your connection with God. If you start to feel distanced from Him, if your spiritual life begins to feel tepid or strained, that's a vital warning sign. Certain individuals in your life may not only bring you down emotionally, but they may also distract you from your spiritual path and diminish your relationship with God. It's crucial to safeguard your spirit and make choices that enhance your connection to Him, nurturing relationships that sustain your growth and well-being. Embrace the joy of healthy connections and allow God to be your guiding light in this journey. They might tempt you with attractive worldly distractions, and before you know it, you could find yourself neglecting prayer and the nourishing Word of God, gradually sinking into a dark and troubling place. Think of your life as a path lit by the glorious light of God. Those who fail to uplift you are like fierce winds trying to snuff out your flame, attempting to draw you away from the sacred things in life. God is always alerting us before we fall into danger, offering signs and nudges to keep us on the right course. If you begin to feel a twinge of discomfort or notice that your life seems to be spiraling out of control, consider it a wake-up call from God, urging you to pay attention. The people surrounding you may not have your best interests at heart. Instead, they may guide you into the shadows that hide His radiant presence. Do not fall into the trap of thinking you can maintain your values while holding on to those who dismiss God's teachings. You simply cannot do both. Concentrate on being with those who genuinely nurture your spiritual journey, and step away from the negative influences that pull you away from what truly matters in life. If you choose to spend time with individuals who do not share your values, you could soon find yourself struggling in the same murky waters they've become accustomed to. These people can distract you from your spiritual rituals, leading you away from your prayers, and even causing you to forget about fasting. Over time, they can drain your spirit to the point where you may hardly recognize yourself. It is crucial to remember that God's light is what strengthens you. But if you're not vigilant, these toxic influences can easily snuff out your flame. Think about the inspirational figures found in the Bible. Men and women of immense faith who stood strong against their temptations and steered clear of relationships that could lead them astray from God. Their eyes remained fixed on Him, unwavering despite the storms they faced. This steadfast resolve is exactly what you need in your own life. If you find someone in your world is pulling you away from God's loving embrace, it may be time to create some distance. Let them go and observe how God can restore your peace, your faith, and indeed, your entire life. Wandering away from God's will can feel like entering an expansive void, a place devoid of direction and purpose. C.S. Lewis once insightfully pointed out that without divine guidance, we often find ourselves lost. Consider the remarkable story of Daniel in the lion's den. Confronted with danger and a sentence of death, Daniel didn't succumb to fear or seek to escape the situation. Instead, he held steadfast to his faith. Because of his unshakable trust in God, the ferocious lions posed no threat to him. This tale serves as a powerful reminder of the strength found in unwavering faith when faced with life's greatest challenges. Leaning into this faith can illuminate your path, ensuring you remain anchored, no matter how strong the winds of temptation may blow. God's protection enveloped Daniel because he stood firm against fear and refused to be swayed by immoral influences that could pull him away from the Lord. This steadfastness exemplifies the message we all need to embrace. God will always remain by your side, but it is essential for you to nurture and maintain your faith. Never let deceitful people or toxic relationships cause a divide between you and His unwavering protection. Furthermore, it's crucial to be vigilant and aware of the signs that manifest in your life, often through dreams and visions. God speaks to us not only through the powerful and dynamic forces of nature, but also in the soft, quiet moments during our dreams. When your heart is clouded by selfish ambitions and desires, which can blind your judgment, God chooses to step in, often subtly yet profoundly. He frequently sends you messages or warnings through these visions, guiding you away from choices that could ultimately lead to your downfall. For instance, consider the story of Abimelech, a man who almost made a grave error by taking Sarah, who was married to Abraham. God, in His mercy, intervened by reaching out to Abimelech in a dream, effectively stopping him in his tracks. This instance of divine intervention exemplifies God's role in your life. He is always looking to protect you from relationships and situations that could harm your spirit deeply. However, it's also vital to recognize that God respects your free will. He will not dictate your actions or impose His will upon you. Instead, He bestows wisdom, shedding light on the path that lies ahead and providing signs for you to follow. It is up to you to muster the strength and courage to respond to these signs. Imagine God as a compassionate parent, constantly offering guidance and insight while allowing you the freedom to choose your way. When you receive a dream or vision, it is essential to take these experiences seriously. Spend time in prayer, seeking understanding and clarity, so that you can allow God's messages to illuminate your journey effectively. Pause for a moment and reflect on the possibility that God may be trying to communicate something significant to you. Through the dreams and visions you experience, He is revealing insights and offering warnings about things that may remain hidden from your view. These dreams should not be seen as punishments. They are, in fact, divine gifts meant to protect you. God's ultimate goal is to shield you from danger, ensuring that you don't stray into relationships or situations that could harm your spirit and well-being. Each vision you receive acts as a gentle nudge, encouraging you to think twice before making a decision that could lead to harm. Embrace these communications as part of your spiritual journey, allowing them to guide you towards a life filled with purpose and security. Your willingness to listen and respond to these divine messages can lead to a more fulfilling and protected life, rooted in faith and awareness. When you begin to truly value these moments as precious gifts, it becomes clear that God is consistently watching over you and steering you toward a life filled with serenity and abundance. Let's take a moment to recap what we've explored together. We've delved into the significant signs that God provides to help guide us away from relationships that could harm us. It is crucial to understand that life isn't a straight, smooth pathway. Rather, it resembles a winding journey punctuated by unexpected twists, challenging obstacles, and intense struggles. Often, it is during these very hardships that you will discover your most valuable treasures, which include personal growth, a deeper faith, and a clearer understanding of your own unique path within God's overarching plan. Picture yourself meandering down a picturesque path lined with brilliant, colorful flowers. Each bloom represents a specific sign given by God, constant reminders of His enduring presence, His boundless love, and His protective care surrounding you at all times. Do not allow fear to immobilize you during your journey. Instead, embrace the process of releasing what no longer benefits your life. Step forward with bravery in your heart, confident that God has something far more extraordinary awaiting you beyond your current challenges. While it's true that you cannot dictate every aspect of your life, you do possess the power to choose how you react to the circumstances you encounter. Will you opt for faith when confronted with fear? Will you gravitate toward truth and authenticity instead of succumbing to falsehoods? Will you place your complete trust in God's divine purpose rather than clinging to elements that draw you away from Him? Allow His words and teachings to penetrate your spirit, guiding you in every decision you make and every step you take. If this message speaks to your heart and has ignited a sense of clarity or inspiration within you, I invite you to express your support. Please consider liking this message, subscribing, and sharing your reflections by commenting, Amen. Together, we can amplify this crucial message, shining a light of God's love into the world. Life is indeed a fascinating journey, but it grows significantly in depth and meaning when you walk alongside God. Live under His protective wings and soak in His love, and I promise you, life will unfold in ways that exceed your most ambitious dreams. Thank you for joining our gathering today. Stay steadfast in your faith, and remember, until we meet again, may your days be rich in blessings and illuminated by God's glorious light. Move forward with confidence and faith, and we eagerly anticipate reuniting with you for the next uplifting chapter of this journey. God bless each and every one of you.